Hey everybody, it's been a minute since I've done a video here on the channel. So today I just want to do a little bit of a channel update. It's 2023 now, and talk about some things that you can expect to see on the channel as far as projects go, videos, and fun ideas I have for this coming year. Because it's going to be a busy year between all this 3D printing stuff I have going on. I've been busy working at that off camera, and also the Corvette. I've been working a lot off camera. The things that I've been doing have been kind of more nitty gritty that aren't really camera worthy. But I will catch you guys up on all of that and kind of fill you in on the game plan for this build and 3D printing content to come this year. So my last video that I left off with in 2022 was a Billy Boat exhaust install, and that has been one of my favorite modifications to the Corvette so far. Really, it's only my first aftermarket modification, minus the wheels and the harmonic balancer, which isn't really fun. But the wheels changed the look of the car significantly, and the exhaust system changed the sound of the car significantly. If you haven't watched that video, definitely go check that out on the channel, because it makes this car go from a tame little stock Corvette to a very loud, aggressive sounding car. And yes, I put a disclaimer out there. I know the engine is stock, so it is mostly sound, but I'm working on getting some power mods coming down the pipeline here as well. But it's always a nice touch to have your car give a little bit of an extra growl when you get on the throttle. So to give you guys a little context of why I kind of took a break for the end of 2022 was for a few reasons. I just wanted to take some time to relax. I am a busy body, so it's hard for me to sit still sometimes. So I was really trying to focus on sitting still, living in the moment, and just kind of enjoying the holidays and things like that. And before the holidays, my wife and I but we wanted to get it done before Thanksgiving, was basically redo the floors in our entire house. So we demoed all the tile in the house, we ripped up the old laminate, we ripped up the old carpet. Every piece of flooring, minus our 2 bathrooms, was removed, and new flooring was installed. So because they are the floors, everything that touches the floor has to be moved. So moral of the story is, it was a lot of work, and we were kind of displaced for about 2 weeks or so. So that was kind of the first part of November, and then that led right into the holidays, and we had family and friends and doing things like that. So I just kind of took some time at the end of the year just to chill out and really just focus on relaxing and develop some plans to hit 2023 hard here. I can tell it's definitely been a minute since I've done a video on the channel, because I'm like having to refresh myself how to talk to a camera again. So it's kind of funny. So let's go ahead and get into what the plan is for 2023 and kind of where my thoughts are for the channel and what we have coming down the pipeline. So with the Corvette, I am currently in the process of rebuilding the driver and passenger side headlight assemblies. So my short-term goal for the Corvette is it runs and drives. I whip it around my neighborhood, good to go. I could totally drive this thing up and down the street. In fact, I did, to go move the car while we moved all of our furniture and things in the garage. So I put this car at my dad's house where I used to film my videos. So I did go up and down the street real quick to move it, and oh, the exhaust sounds amazing. But I'm hesitant to continue driving on the street without headlights because, you know, I don't know, certain cops are more picky than others, and they might pull you over and give you a fix-it ticket for not having headlights. So I'd rather just play it safe, have the headlights installed and working on the car, and also have the hood on the car as well. Because I don't know if they'd also ding me for not having a hood either. So I'm just trying to, you know, strategically plan here, but the short-term goal is to get this car back on the road and actually drive it and enjoy it. Because all of the modifications I have coming down the pipeline here, I want to really experience the car in a step-by-step and a tiered approach so I can appreciate the mods better. Because if the car just sits for a long period of time and I have no baseline reference of like when I replace the shifter, how does that feel? I mean, I've driven the car a while, so I'll know how the shifter feels, but other things, like I want to drive the car and experience it so I can appreciate the modifications more and the money that I'm putting into this car. So the video coming out probably after this one, I'm not entirely sure, but most likely after this one is going to be kind of like an overview summary of all the work I've done so far on rebuilding the headlights. And while I'm kind of talking about it, I'll take you guys over them and just show you real quick kind of where I'm at. Basically the headlights, because this is the C5, it has the flip up headlights, the gear that controls or that the motor drives to turn and actuate the headlights, those stripped on both passenger and driver side. They're just a nylon gear that over time the plastic gets brittle, and it's a very common problem with these cars as they get older. So there's a brass gear replacement kit that I've purchased, and I've been working on installing on these to make it a lot more of a robust setup moving forward. So but at the same time, I'm taking the time to basically rebuild and repaint all the headlights, because one of the replacement ones I got was not badly corroded, but it had a lot of corrosion and pitting on it. So I completely wire brushed it to bare metal, resprayed it. So I'm going a little overkill on it, but you know, here I am, I'm doing it. So but we'll have those rebuilt in the next few weeks or so. Okay, so here's my little workstation. Actually, the entire workbench is my workstation for the headlights here. So this is which one is this? This is the driver's side. So I completely stripped this down, and if it comes across on camera, I wire brush it down and then put that nice truck bed coating on it. I'm a big fan of that because it sprays on really nicely. It's a lot more durable than standard spray paint, and it doesn't require the best prep or painting conditions. It goes on pretty easily. So I painted that. I masked obviously the headlight, painted this top bracket, and then I've got the motor over here that I replaced the gear. I glued the two pieces back together. So now I just got to basically reassemble the driver's side one with all the bracketry and the headlight lids and stuff like that. Believe it or not, these headlights are fairly expensive, and I wish there was a better aftermarket option, but there really isn't. So I'm working on rebuilding these, so I should have these done in the next few weeks. So I'm gonna basically do the same thing to the passenger side one, which this was the one that was still good on the car when I got it. This is one that I had to buy for like $400 on eBay. Okay, so after the headlights are done, what's kind of the next step? Well, I'm gonna put the hood back on the car and basically get the car into a drivable condition, and I want to enjoy it for a little while. I'm going to drive it. Maybe I'll do a few driving videos, take it on a back road somewhere, and just kind of do some driving videos, an update of how the car feels to drive, considering that I have the exhaust system on it now. I've got the better wheels and tires on it now from when I did the first video, things like that. So, and then I'll probably drive it around town and drive it to work on like a Friday and stuff like that, just to enjoy it. But after that, the car goes back up on the lift. And the other thing too, moving forward with this car, is my plan is to do the modifications in a way that doesn't make the car sit for multiple weeks at a time, unless something unforeseen comes up, obviously. But my goal is to have little projects from here on out that I can do in a weekend or 2 weekends, so the car is not sitting for a long time, so I can continue to enjoy it. So that's my game plan moving forward. But the next big mod, and is the most expensive, let's see, let me make sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's definitely. It is the most expensive single modification that I bought for this car, and it's sitting in a box, or boxes on the ground over there, and I'm really excited to install this because it'll really help up the performance of the car, and it'll get it closer to the autocross setup that I'm wanting to get it to in the future. So that'll be really fun. So that's going to be coming probably in, I'd say maybe like a month or so-ish. But that's the short-term goal for the Corvette, is to get it out on the road, maybe get a sound video of it, you know, me driving by and someone recording what it sounds like. Because, I mean, just this exhaust system alone, it's an axle back exhaust system. It sounds so good. It's got some gurgles, it's got some pops, and it's just so much more of like a deep, throaty sound without being obnoxious. So I'm really excited for that. So that's the plan for the Corvette. And then moving even forward from that, the next step is to finish repairing the front bumper. I'm building up my stock of all of the different 3M epoxy adhesives that you have to use to properly repair all the weird materials this car is made out of. This car is really made from some weird materials, like the fenders, the doors are made from something called SMC, sheet molded composite or compound. The front bumper is like a fiber reinforced plastic or something like that. I mean, I've heard different answers from different people, but I've been doing a lot of research on which 3M adhesives to use to properly repair the bumper, the fender, and stuff like that. Because the first time I repaired the bumper, I didn't do it the right way. I used Bondo and Bondo glass, and that's a big no-no on a polyurethane bumper that flexes a lot, because Bondo and Bondo glass are not flexible and they cracked, and they also didn't bond very well to the actual bumper, because I was able to take a, not a spatula, but a chisel, and basically chisel off all the Bondo and Bondo glass. So that's also coming down the pipeline here to get the car in a more aesthetically pleasing looking condition. And speaking of aesthetics, the last thing I'll talk about is the hood. Yes, it's not going to stay yellow. My goal is actually to paint that black. You know, I'm going to paint the other headlight cover red to match the red of the car, but trying to find the torch red paint is a little difficult. I mean, without going to a full PPG store, and I'm really going to try and do this with a rattle can, so it may or may not turn out well, but I'm going to go with black for the hood to match with the black roof here. I think that'll look pretty slick. And if the paint doesn't look good, I'm just going to wrap it for the short term. Eventually the whole car will be repainted, but that's like one of the very last things for this build. So black hood is coming as well, so we will no longer have a McVette. Alright, so I flipped my hat backwards because I'm standing right under my shop light and it was casting a big shadow over my face. So I know you all want to see my lovely face here. So let's quickly pivot and talk about the other aspect of this channel. So for those that don't know, obviously I'm a big car enthusiast. I have been since I was a little kid. So Corvette build is a big focus on the channel. Car related things is a big focus. My other big passion, and actually my career, I'm thankful enough to have it as not just a hobby and passion, but it's my career as well, is 3D printing. So the goal for this year with 3D printing is to really establish like a baseline of all of the cool tips and tricks that I've learned over the 8+ years that I've been involved with 3D printing, with setting up your own 3D printers at home, troubleshooting, optimizing settings, things like that. So if you guys are interested in learning about 3D printing at home, that's what I'm going to be focusing on, is creating some cool videos for that. I just bought, so I have 2 3D printers in my enclosure, and I just bought another 3D printer. It's a slightly smaller one than these here, but it's basically the little brother to these guys. And I'm going to mod the heck out of that thing. It's going to be a Frankenstein printer, so it's going to be basically my 3D printer build. So I'm going to be focusing a lot on that this year, is building up this 3D printer to make it super trick and be able to print some really cool materials that I have in mind here. So I'm excited for that. And then of course, the other aspect of this channel is where these two things meet together. How you can use 3D printing on car builds. So I know a lot of other people have done videos like that, but that's really going to be my primary focus on the channel, is meshing the two things together here and showing how you can leverage desktop, at-home printers to build things out for your car to a reasonable manner. Obviously, you're not going to be printing suspension parts or anything load-bearing, because that's not safe. So, and the materials aren't capable. So, but there's a lot of cool things that you can do with printers at home, things that you can do to mod your printers to print even better materials for car stuff. So that's going to be my big focus this year, is to A, continue building out this Corvette, B, show you guys all my tips and tricks and things that I've learned, cool things about 3D printing and that 3D printer build. And then, what did I say, A, B, and then C is going to be meshing those two things together, 3D printing things for my car, 3D printing things for my Tundra, and showing you guys how you can apply and really use functional 3D prints to enhance with your auto projects and things like that. So that's kind of my game plan for 2023. I'm excited to share that all with you guys. If you have any comments or questions, or ideas that you have that I can do, or things that you might want to see, please feel free to leave a comment below, and I will definitely see what I can do to get that on the channel. So if you guys haven't already, if you for some reason stumbled across this channel update video and you haven't subscribed yet, definitely consider doing that. I really appreciate it. It helps grow the channel and things like that. We're pretty close to 20,000 subscribers, and I'm definitely going to do a giveaway at 20,000 subscribers. I'm going to 3D print something really cool, and I'm going to give it away to someone on the channel here who subscribed. So make sure you do that. So thank you all so much again for tuning in. Happy New Year, happy 2023 to you all. Thank you all so much for watching these videos. I'm excited for this year to come, and other than that, guys, I will see you in the next one.